What do you want to talk about, AJ?
Well, it's actually those guys that are watching will know because it's the title of the video.
Oh, you've already put it up there.
Yeah.
So they know before I do.
I want to introduce to you and to them 5 great watches for under £500. Laptop's out. It's got serious.
The technology is impressive.
It's just like that. They didn't even
like
notice.
a swipe, and we've got a laptop on the table.
Yeah, this has got
it's
serious. I've been watch shopping for you, and for me, and for you as well. Actually, mainly I tried to find 5 watches that you might like.
Yeah,
for under £500 ish.
Okay. I mean, we make the rules are under our control.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just wondering whether this is a good thing or bad thing for us and our watch problem.
Oh, this is definitely a bad thing, and it's a bad thing for the anonymous people watching as well, because inevitably they'll end up with 1 or 2 watches now on their watch list.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
But as long as we're only watching them,
then it's fine. My challenge really is to persuade you to buy one, because last time we did a 5 watch list, I did buy one that you presented to me straight away.
Okay, please present the first problem to me.
The first watch is the Seiko Presage style 1960s in denim. No, the laptop isn't touchscreen, unfortunately.
That's annoying. Can't you get another laptop?
This is right up my street at the moment, so it's a bit of a selfish choice. I will admit it's £485, the Seiko Presage, and it's very 1960s styled. I think this looks beautiful. It is a 41mm case, open heart Seiko from the Presage range. It's an automatic watch. Obviously, you have the 4R39 movement in here. I only bring that up. I know that sounds nerdy.
It does sound nerdy.
I only bring it up because it's interesting. If you actually look at the dial, you have the normal 3-hand movement, but you have a 24-hour sub dial as well.
Okay.
Exactly like that you find on your Doppia Tempo. See what I've done there? See what I've done there?
It didn't buy you any favours.
It didn't?
No, because that is not exactly like my Doppia Tempo, and you take it back.
Okay, it is at the 10 to 11 o'clock position rather than the 4 o'clock position on yours. I think it looks beautiful. The combination of the bezel and the crystal, it's got a slightly boxed crystal to it as well. So again, it fits in with that 1960s aesthetic. And the open heart, so you can see the balance wheel, I think is a really beautiful offering. 49mm lug to lug as well.
Oh,
so
wow.
It wears
Okay.
big. They have it on this, it's almost like a calf skin, not NATO strap.
Yeah, we'd just call it a field strap.
It's like on a calfskin field strap. So again, it makes it even more imposing on the wrist. But just that lug to lug of 49 in itself is pretty big. I think it's borderline what I could get away with. So definitely fit for you as well.
Field and pilot for me right now are right up there.
Yeah.
I really love it. When I say pilot, I kind of mean diver as well.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I don't care so much. Do you know, when I dive, I go down about 1 meter.
Wow.
That's it. I'm never going to do more, AJ.
No.
And when I go into the bath, I don't take the watch with me. When I go into the shower, the watch doesn't come with me.
It
I'm
doesn't
not
get
too
wet.
worried about the diving.
No.
I don't very often go in a field either.
No.
Right? But if I did, it's good to have.
How do you feel about a 41mm case width?
Now, me a year ago with my rule book that I had then would have gone, too small.
Too small.
Yeah. So case size 41 is kind of,
For those of you who don't know, if this is your first video, you've got just about an 8-inch wrist. So
Okay.
to put it into perspective.
fraction under 8, but I wear it as if it's 8.
Yeah.
So the measurement has to be for an 8-inch wrist. And the way that my wrist is, I've got a bit of a slab, right? So I've got to be careful. If I put on a 40, it really does have to be only if it's a field watch. And by that, I mean, I think it's acceptable to wear a slightly smaller watch, a field watch.
It's in keeping with the style, isn't it?
Yeah, forgivable in my head because the way that the strap on a field strap, not a N-word strap,
Yeah, we can't say the
kind
N-word.
of sits slightly wider because you've got those keeps.
It's a bit like how this one is styled.
Exactly. So it gives the illusion of
For me,
size.
it feels like a really nice combination of kind of dressy, but toned down enough to be cool.
Yeah. It's definitely
That denim blues.
You're
really
pushing
nice.
my boundaries, AJ.
Oh, okay.
What I do like to see, I like the sneaky peek into the automatic workings.
Yeah, the open heart.
I love that. I love the whole dial is very attractive. The hands, yeah, okay. I can make do with that. I like the chunkier hands.
There's one caveat that will put you off.
Okay.
It's not sapphire. The cheaper Seikos don't tend to be. They call it hard legs, don't they?
Okay.
It's a bit of a caveat. If that's a hang up for you, then
I've
some of the cheaper Seikos just aren't for you.
It is in I'm a bit fussy.
Okay.
However, I've never actually scratched a watch.
No, and also we're dealing with sub 500. So what you're getting specs wise is there's limitations in every corner.
Yeah.
It's currently 484, and you get a 10% discount from the site. I'll put the links below if you're interested. A bit of a plug. So it'll come out at like, what's that? 430, something like that.
48 quid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hell of a good offering, really. I don't know what you think. I'm rating my own.
I think you thought of you more than you thought of me.
Oh, I 100% thought of me.
And for me, yeah, do you know what? It's not a massive stray for me. I like to be able to see the time immediately. It has to be clear and crisp for me. That's important. I like it on a field strap, and it's just within my tolerance. So I'm pretty much around a 43.
There may be a theme in this list that they are more for me than you.
Yeah, I can well imagine that.
Basically, I just went watch hunting for under £500
Okay.
for watches that I liked the look of, and then pretended that they're for you.
So this video really could be called Watch Hunting for a 7-inch to 8-inch wrist.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not very punchy though. All right, I'm going to move it along to the.
I'm ready for the next one.
To the next one, and it may not surprise you that this brand is in the list. It is, of course, Tizzo.
Yeah. This watch is in my bookmarks.
Is it really?
It is actually in my bookmarks. Yeah.
I did have. It's not particularly my style. I did kind of think it might be a bit more for you, and it's bigger as well. This is the T Classic 42mm from Tizzo, so not one of the more common ones that we see. It's not one of the PRX range. It's not a quartz. This is an automatic watch, and I just want to say, just for you, there you go. Cheeky little bit of open case back.
So I mean, you've really struck a chord here.
Yes,
because you know my weakness. I like to see what's going on behind the scenes.
So there's some important things to know about this watch. First, which kind of sets the stall out, it's only £430 for a Swiss-made automatic from Tizzo. That
could get you arrested.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's that cheap. It's not one of their Powermatic 80s, which is the kind of evolved ETA movement, the 2824, evolved to have an 80-hour power reserve. It's not one of those. It's one of the Swissmatics, which means it's non-serviceable.
Right.
So if something goes wrong with the movement, you have to replace the movement.
200 quid and a whole new thing.
You have to bear in mind you're buying a £400 watch. It's
right.
In the world of watches, that's not crazy, is it? You wouldn't service a Seiko NH35, would you? I don't think people are going in and servicing that when it needs it doing. They're replacing it because it's so cheap.
It's pocket money, yeah.
It's kind of the case here. You can take the case back off with some work, but the whole movement is kind of basically soldered together. It's welded together, rather. So it's a caveat you have to think about. Are you going to own this watch for more than 10 years?
No, I'm not going to own it at all now. You've put me off.
Oh, it's only £430. It's 42 millimeters.
Okay, I'm back in the room.
It does have a sapphire crystal, which I think is a really important thing to kind of put to
AJ, you're playing with me here.
And look how good it looks on wrist.
I know.
It's beautiful.
I do really like it.
That leather strap looks great. It is more of a dress watch than a casual watch, so more you than me.
Yeah.
I tend to be drawn more to casual watches. The Swissmatic is 72-hour power reserve, so it's a very competent movement whilst it's still working.
I don't want to buy it, because on one hand, I think, oh, what about in 15 years' time when it's not worth anything? And I paid 430 quid for it. What
So
about in 15
ridiculous.
years' time, AJ? My 430 quid watch, I can't service it.
Yeah. Oh no.
But then sapphire glass, I really like. Sign of quality.
It
You
is.
look at it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No scratches. Beautiful.
It looks luxurious. You've got
That's-
Swiss movement. It watches the watch group that
Swatch.
it's Swatch Group
Yep.
brand
Yep.
powerhouse are behind Tizzo.
And I think if you haven't got a Swiss automatic yet, and you're starting out on your watch collecting journey, I think about like Scott, a friend of ours, who's kind of just got into watches, and he's
I
playing around
can't
with some of the
believe
entry
you've done
level.
that to him.
I've named him. I apologize. I named him. But I think if you were like, oh, I want to get my first Swiss automatic, and I don't want to buy secondhand, I want to buy new.
Yeah.
It'd be almost impossible to find something that's better priced for
Yeah,
that.
I follow. What you've done, you've given an opportunity to come in for Japanese movement money
Yes.
into the world of Swiss luxury.
And it's just to rephrase that, this is cheaper than the Seiko Presage we just looked at.
Okay, so currently, for that reason alone, it's higher on the list.
Is it number 1 out of 2?
Currently, it's number 1 out of 2.
Okay, so I go from one Swatch Group Swiss watch
Yeah.
to another now. And this is from the really uncelebrated brand Satina.
Okay. Yeah. So this is number 1 on my list.
Okay.
It's actually in my bookmark.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like I've been on your watch list.
A classic watch.
It's really nice. This is the Satina Aqua DS Action Day Date, a 41mm day and date complication. It is a Powermatic 80. So it's the same movement that Tizzo use in their Powermatic, which is a modified ETA 2824. So it has a slower beat rate, which gives it 80 hours power reserve.
I love it when you talk nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone gets a bit excited, don't they?
Do you know what my head went to? You went deep dive nerdy.
Yeah.
I went, oh, that's a decent discount.
Yes, thank you. So currently I've found this on Goldsmiths, 25% off, down to, and I've broken the rule a little bit, I'm sorry, it's $5.10. I think we can forgive £10.
Yeah.
Look at that open case back, first of all.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Now, I've heard people say that they only like open case backs if the movement is special to look at in some way. And to that, I say, you're wrong.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong.
I love looking at it, even if it's a Seiko NH35.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
it's a really boring, undecorated, ordinary movement that probably costs 10 quid somewhere. I still like looking at it.
I think my first open case back was on a TW Steel, and it was an NH35. And I was more than happy to waste time just looking at it working.
So, before I show you one of the other cool bits, obviously it's sapphire crystal. It's AR coated on the inside, so it'll have a lovely hue to it as well. As I've said, it's not just a date complication, but a day and date at that 3 o'clock position. Stainless steel case, 41mm. I did write the lug to lug, I'm sure. 48 lug to
Wow.
lug, so it wears decently. Open exhibition case back, and yes, that leather strap is on a deployant clasp.
Do you know, it does add a little
Does.
je ne sais quoi.
It does add real quality to it. Have to say, £510.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's the leader in the list. It's a little bit more
Yes.
than the Tizzo.
The only thing I will say that slightly puts me off, how do you feel about the shaping of it with the crown guards there at the 3 o'clock? Does that detract from the shape of the watch too much for you, or do you like how that kind of molded around?
Okay,
It gives it a
so-
soft feeling.
Yeah, no, I like it. So the case design is very similar to what we see on like a Longines.
Yes. Yeah, that's fair.
Exactly the same styling.
Like the Conquest.
Yeah. For me, love it. Love it. Very, very comfortable to wear. Typically, you see that where it's not a screw down crown.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I think that is elegant style. I love the exhibition window. I love that it's got a clear dial.
Yeah.
I love that it's got day date, which is nice.
And do you know what? I'm really glad to include Satina in this. I probably want to do a video in the future where we look at the kind of lesser appreciated Swiss brands that offer really great value. And I think Satina is one of them that people are sleeping on right now.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the Swatch group. They use the Powermatic 80, which is an awesome movement. They offer really good value. I think probably the flaw that Satina have is they have too many watches to choose from.
Well, the DS range has been going for years.
Yeah.
It's certainly like the most comfortable entry point into Satina.
Yeah. Yeah, that was their real kind of cue, wasn't it, DSing? Anyway, so we're moving away from Switzerland now for the next two.
Okay.
Into I've gone very safe for the first three, I think.
Right.
Very kind of obvious. There's a Seiko, there's a Tissot. There's
You'll
a
like
Satina.
this.
And everyone's going to like them. They're kind of expecting a Tissot to be there. So now I'm moving into the world of, I don't want to say micro brands because I always feel like that's demeaning, but smaller brands, let's say.
Yeah, you can say micro brands. I quite like it.
And in truth, this next one, I could have picked out any of their watches.
Right.
I've just picked out the weirdest one.
Why did you do that?
But the weirdest one, I think, may offer you something that's different.
Right.
I'm
Come
talking about Spinnaker,
Oh, okay.
okay? And this is the Spinnaker Hull Titanium
Yes.
with a bronze bezel.
I'm feeling it.
Okay, it's different. It's very weird.
Yeah. But straight away, that's the thing. I look at that and I get excited.
It's a cushion case as well, which I don't normally like, that kind of rounded square thing.
No, I'm into that.
But it feels nice.
It's a little bit of fun.
This the whole titanium bronze, they do it in, there was originally 4 different dials types, but one of them sold out now. They actually are made of the material that it looks like. So you've got one that's actually made of turquoise and one that's actually made of malachite. And I think it looks kind of special.
I would agree. I think, look, imagine that. I'm looking at the image. I can picture it over my wrist. I go, yeah, that is funky.
It's funky. It's different.
It's fun on the wrist. No matter what environment you're in, that's going to look tidy when your sleeve pulls back.
Yeah, it's a 42 mil case. It has, was it 50? Yeah, 50 mil lug to lug. So it's going to wear very big, especially because it's that squared cushion case design. It's going to be imposing. That this one in particular, the green malachite, it's going to really catch the light in beautiful ways. Like you've got to see some of the pictures.
Well, the torment you've given me is it says limited edition.
200 pieces each colorway.
Yeah, so it's already gone.
No, this one's still in stock.
Right. Well, it probably won't be.
$485 is the price.
The problem is you've shared it here.
But even worse, there's 20% off right now as well.
Right. So by the time I go on there, they've gone.
Yeah, so 485 minus 90 odd quid. It's going to be under 400 for this watch. In the 300s.
That's incredible.
The loom is beautiful.
So I've already
texture.
I've already bought a Spinnaker. I've got a Spinnaker in the collection.
I've had 2 Spinnakers over the years, and I've been very close recently to buying a third, even though I've sold the other ones.
Was it when you were researching this by any chance?
Yes, it was. In truth, I could have picked any of them. Open case back as well. It's, for those of you that don't know, Spinnaker used the Seiko NH35 movement, which is an absolute powerhouse movement. It's in loads of the micro brands and small brands. A silicone strap, 200 meters of water resistance as well. I mean,
there'll be those watch nerds out there that going, you shouldn't keep calling Spinnaker a micro brand because they're international now and they've got distros overseas. So
they're probably not a micro brand. I think because they're owned by a group, they're not considered a micro brand. Whatever, right. I don't care. They're a small brand that not many people know of.
Yeah,
that's
and you're doing us all a good service, AJ.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate it.
It's hard to look past it if you want to add something different to your collection for under £400 once you account for the sale.
Yeah, I mean it's given me Nautilus vibes.
Okay,
it's definitely it's there. It's a little bit more dressy, but it's fun.
50 mil lug to lug. It's going to wear big.
Yeah, that would be beautiful.
All right, final one of the 5. You ready for this?
AJ, hit me.
This is completely biased.
Right.
because I already own one of these watches.
So this was for you.
No.
Oh, this
is to try and convince you that, or
Right.
try and convince me that it was okay.
So you bought a watch.
Yeah.
You feel a little bit of guilt for deep diving into a watch.
Yes.
And you've gone, do you know what? I need acceptance. I need permission.
And I will say that this watch is utter rubbish.
Right. Well, that's a good start.
As in, it's made from rubbish.
Oh, okay. So D-Trash, yeah. Yeah. Look, I love your watch. I think that is a quality purchase. So tell me it's a bargain.
Okay, so price-wise, I'll let you flick through the photos.
I could definitely deep dive with a D-Trash watch.
375 it's on for. You will see sales occasionally.
That surprises me because the amount of money these guys spend on Facebook
I know,
ads,
they're all over it, aren't they?
Like I started looking after you bought one and I see it all the time on Facebook.
So, to those who don't know, D-Trash, a British brand making watches from mainly recycled materials. So the case is made from the majority recycled steel, the watch is recycled nylon, and they pick out just cool, innovative designs for the watches, for the colorways, for how they feel. I've picked out a particularly safe one because I know you're not one for the more, I don't know what the right word is, almost kind of silly watches.
Yeah.
So I picked out one that I thought you might actually wear, which is they call it the Like Mania, which is kind of the black and white.
Yeah, I'm into it.
375, it's a 41mm case dive watch, obviously with rotating bezel, 47mm lug to lug, so it might be a touch on the small side for you.
Yeah, okay.
I will say from owning it, the nylon strap is very comfortable. I thought it was going to feel a bit cheap, but it's very nice.
I love what these guys are doing. I think you're not only buying a watch, you are bringing in that whole watch conversation, which I really like.
Yeah, like what is that? There's loads of cool different, like I say, different versions. You've got Poison Ivy, Gotham's Vigilante, which I think are quite cool. I've got the Player One, which obviously because I'm a gamer at heart, I can't help it. Sapphire Crystal, Seiko NH35 movement. The case is 80% recycled stainless steel, 200 meters water resistance. It's got a lot going for it. It's got a cool story. It's totally different. You don't see many of them. I think each colorway's limited to 200 units. I think so. It's a very small production.
At some point, I have got to buy a D-Trash watch.
I would implore you to do it. You could buy mine. I'll tell it to you for $675.
What? Oh, okay. So I get to try it on straight away.
Yeah, you get it straight away. I've got the box and papers and stuff.
Pay massively over odds because you've probably seen one here that you like. Yeah.
Yeah. I quite like the Poison Ivy.
I think I'll just get it direct.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
But I appreciate your kind offer.
Okay, so we've actually gone on a bit of an international tour as well. You've got British with a Japanese movement. You've got Spinnaker, which their origins are questionable, but with a Japanese movement. You've got some Swiss, the cheaper Swiss movement, and then back to pure Japan heritage. If you were to go through, Pete, the Seiko Presage, the Tizzo T Classic, the Satina Aqua DS, the Hull from Spinnaker, or the D-Trash Like Mania, you can order them for me.
They're not even fairly placed, are they?
No.
D-Trash, you've got that awesome, unique part to it, which I really like. I love the storytelling with watches, conversation piece. And what they're doing is probably the most remarkable.
Yes.
However, what goes against them, you can't put right because it's the affordability part.
Yeah.
I would have loved that to have a Swiss movement in it, and there's no way you can at 375.
Yeah, no chance.
So you've got to forgive it for that. That's right up there. Then, okay, Spinnaker, I love it, but realistically placed against these other watches, it's at the top end of the budget.
Yeah,
I would have a job with that.
Okay.
The Satina, I mean, it's all of the budget
Plus.
and a tenner. Yeah. So you've been a little bit naughty there. You've overstretched it.
2% overstretched it.
However,
Yeah.
you do get that Swiss movement.
Powermatic 80.
Yeah, the deployment or deployant, depending who's listening. So I would say deployment.
Yeah.
You know, other people out there don't and say it the French way. But look at that clasp. Beautiful. I love seeing the movement. This one for me is really tough because it's
That
really
polished case back as well.
Yeah, that's right up there against the D-Trash to which one I'm likely to fall on.
Tizzo T Classic. Now, this was in your list before I presented them to you.
Yeah, before you told me, if you spend 430 quid in 15 years' time when that movement's losing time every day, you're going to have to throw it in the bin.
Yeah, pretty much.
That goes against the grain of what D-Trash are doing. They're over there doing all the work, and these guys are just chucking stuff in the bin.
Okay, so you're ruling that one out.
Yeah.
And then the Seiko Presage, which is, I mean, let's be honest, it's just a watch that I really love, isn't it?
Do you know what? That is an incredible find because it's a very attractive watch.
Yeah.
I love it on that strap. The way it's presented, that combo is really, really nice.
So what is your five
Okay.
being least, 4, 3, 2, 1?
It goes number 1, D-Trash. Number 2 goes the Satina. Number 3 is the Seiko. Spinnaker. And then the Tizzo.
What I love there is that you broke TV convention by not doing the list in reverse order, by really revealing your favourite first.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. This is a watch addict's problem. And as an addict, I go, I want to buy, I want to buy, I want to buy.
So, wait, in my poking fun at you, you picked the D-Trash as your favourite.
D-Trash for me just has something more about it. Although I've got the Japanese movement and I love the Swiss movement, I also like the story.
Yeah.
I like that they're actually doing something. And I think that's something that all brands can take on.
And a nice choice of like cool, sensible, but also quirky designs, all in the same watch style, which I think is really cool.
Me and my collection, I jump around an awful lot. You don't open up a watch box and see the same watch 15 times over. It's like total variations. I go from U-boat to field watches, and I've got bimetal like the Breitling, where they're really glamorous. But then next to that, I've got a Spinnaker Fleuss.
Yeah.
Like so varied. And I think the D-Trash would fit in really nicely with that. You've chosen a very safe one for me as well. That's a very me watch.
It's a cool colorway. It's just the black and white. It's very plain and simple, but kind of elegant with it. I would be very tempted by the Gotham's one or the Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
If I was to go again.
See, again, it's just having fun with it.
It's fun, isn't it? That all black with the yellow hands. It's like I can read the time really clearly. It's beautiful. There's only 6 left in stock as well.
Yeah. So that straight away.
I genuinely
anxious, need to go for a poo, check the screen again. Is it still there?
I genuinely thought you were going to pick the Satina as your favourite.
Look, Satina is incredible. And here's the thing, AJ. Like, just because one's in number 1 and one's in number 2 doesn't mean you can't have them both.
Well, the beautiful thing with watches under £500 is that you can have multiple.
Yeah. But just hide the box and papers.
Get it delivered to your workplace. Come on. And then you've always had it.
It's a really enjoyable journey. I love top 5s, especially when they're of play money. You know, they're not, it's going to take 6 months until I can justify sneaking another watch into the house.
100% agree.
This is fun.
Yeah.
And
I think
every one you presented there is actually worthy of a list on a budget.
Totally agree. And personally, for my watch collecting journey, I've got too many watches already, but I think your watch box, if you are going to have multiple, should be a combination of like really prestigious pieces that are marking a landmark in time, or we've had to save up for ages, and they're like big watches, in amongst some more playful pieces or some more easy to obtain watches that offer a different look or a different function. So you've got a nice combination of this thing. Unless you're like super wealthy and you can have a box full of Rolexes. I mean, none of us are in that position. It should be a combination of all these things.
Yeah, I think the fun stops at that point, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
when I've got all the different colorways of a luxury watch. It's kind of a different game that, that's certainly not where I want to be playing anyway.
No.
I like having a D-Trash as like my holiday watch, and that's the story attached to it. And I bought that to go.
I think there's also as well, if you buy sensibly in the budget space, if you buy sensibly and you wind up that you want to move it on in a year's time or 2 years' time, even if you lose the typical amount, it's not going to hurt in the same way as if you went into a jeweler's, bought a brand new Tudor, and then went to resell it and realised you've lost $2,000. That hurts.
Yeah.
But if you've lost £200, you're like, well, I did wear it for a couple of years. If I bought sensibly, I might not lose anything at all.
And that's the kind of advice that people turn up for.
Wow, that's very,
What you got there was AJ justifying all of his watch purchases, and it's an excuse that you can take away and share with your family.
I'm going to close this before we end up buying one of the watches.
Yeah,
Other
an issue.
laptops are available, by the way.
Yeah.
Are
they going to pay us anything?
No.
That's a shame.
And they make rubbish watches.
Oh, so
Are we going to tell them what to do at the end? We're going to close this off?
I'd like to end with, look, just buy something that you like. There's links down below. Can we get paid on those?
Some of them.
They might pay us, which could help make it rain so we can buy more watches. So if you're going to buy one, use a link below. You'll probably get a discount. Do they get a discount?
Yeah, yeah.
So
why
there'll
not?
be something in it for you as well. So win for you, win for us. We both get new watches. And always buy a quality watch because it will always get you home.
And if you don't, let me know because I'll probably buy it off you.
No, that's good. And there's subscribe somewhere. And
I want to know,
likes
before you go, in the comments, what watch under £500 are you currently watching?
Oh, that's
because I can add it to my own watch list and buy it
that's a
before
good
they
one.
do.
What about, have we got anything on the screen?
There's probably some stuff smashed up there that you can hit. Do it.
Don't put it over my face.
I probably will. It's probably better.